What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Oh man, my video got people up in a roar. People was like, I can't believe what you said, Cino. Your video ticked me off. I can't lie, Cino. Oh, let me read the exact statement. Let me go to the exact statement that was made about your boy, Cino. Because y'all so in love with Deontay Wilder. I can't believe you would do that to another black man, Cino. I've been supporting you from day one. And, you got to look at mental health when someone is getting hit in the face. That man's not going to lie about what he felt in the ring and what happened to him. Now, he wants to take a different approach. That's okay. He should be able to do that without people criticizing him. And this is why black people don't stick together today. He's going to avenge the loss, and I'm proud of that. The third fight will clear up everything. But don't tear this black man down like you do LeBron James. We need unity at this time. You're causing division. Wow. 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 I didn't realize I was tearing the black man down. I thought I was telling you what happened. So, if somebody robs a bank, and I tell you about the bank robbery, when it's already been reported that the person robbed the bank and everything, and the person happens to be black, and then I'm talking about what just happened, am I tearing down the black man that robbed the bank by stating the actual facts? So I guess this is what it is. Now, let's stick to this situation. So I wanna get through this. I want to get through it the right way. Deontay Wilder video has got y'all in an uproar because I told you guys the truth. Uh, uh, uh. This is crazy. Let me look at another one before I have to say what I have to say. All right. Brother, you got to wake up. It's been proven by boxing that people use PEDs and all type of different things. Fury said Klitschko cheated with performance enhancing drugs, and they never signed off to do a rematch. So why are you I don't remember you tearing down Klitschko or Fury for saying that or making excuses. Fury won. What are you talking about? So you act like you have money on Fury on this fight. Okay, I'm reading all your little comments. Okay. Bruh, I'm telling you, you need to go ahead and first rewatch the fight and see it was clear that something was fishy with Fury's gloves. And then in the second fight, you could tell something wasn't right because he never hit Wilder like that, and Wilder had that kind of reaction. I mean, about the poisoning of the water, I don't know, but you got to question everything when you see how fishy. Okay. And why does he got to lose credibility because of his style? Okay. All right. Well, then that's enough. We're going to get through this nonsense once and for all. Because the other comment that was I didn't get to is somewhere in here. He talks about an egg shape, an egg weight. They give me a link to the egg weight and show me what the egg weight looks like. It could slip on your finger and all this stuff. And I'm looking at people and I'm like, are you this stupid? But then again, I have to realize that the actual general public don't understand how boxing works. They don't really follow boxing, so they don't understand. They've never seen this. I've seen this in numerous fights, numerous exhibition fights. I've seen that happening. Someone gets hit that hard with the tip of the glove or whatever, get caught with a good solid shot. That happens. Point fact that I know for sure happened. Nonito Dunier, Fernando Montiel fight. Please tell me when Nonito Dunier hit him with that check left hook. Look at Montiel's face. Montiel was knocked out on the floor, on the canvas as soon as he was hit. Did that leave an egg-shaped mark? Oh, did he have an egg weight then too? Let me guess. Now Nonito Dunier's got egg weights. You people, stop letting these other people influence you who do not know a damn thing about boxing. They've never even walked in a boxing gym. If they did, they walked in there just to see if they could run into a fighter so that they could take a picture with them. That's it. They know nothing about this sport. Nothing. Not one damn thing. And you're going to take somebody like myself who actually knows something about the sport. I know when it's like when they're doing two-a-days. I know when guys are not training properly. I know when a guy looks like he's about to fade. I know all these little ticks and details that goes on in training. I know when the camp ain't right. I know when a lot of things are off because I've been in training camps. I've seen a training camp when it's ran at its best, and I've been in a training camp when it's ran at its worst. I've saw good camps, I've saw very bad ones, and I know how they're ran. I've been in a locker room for a championship fight. I've seen the commissioner, the deputy commission come over and inspect gloves, inspect hand wraps. And at the world championship level, there's no commission in the right mind would just slip and let somebody put an egg weight in someone's hand. First, how they gonna hold that for an entire fight? You're gonna be gripping an egg weight in your hand for an entire bout? All that does is really add heaviness to the glove. If you got a 3 pound egg weight in your hand. Now people spar with that because it adds heaviness to the gloves. So when you're punching, it's just like adding extra ounces to your gloves for sparring and training purposes. But you don't like punch people with those. You keep them in your gloves so when you're hitting mitts. So if you're hitting mitts and stuff like that, you don't spar with egg weight gloves and all that stuff. So anyhow, I hope this dispels this It won't, because you guys are still gonna hold on to the dream. When the gist of the matter is, they don't control anything anymore. PBC went ahead and had to make a fight outside of PBC with a fighter who wasn't signed with PBC. And you saw what happened. This is why PBC don't want to make fights and want to make real fights with people outside of their umbrella and make the fights that the people want to see. Nobody asked for Leo Santa Cruz, Tank Davis. Leo Santa Cruz is a small 126-pound fighter going up to fight a guy who walks around at middleweight, sweating down to make 130 so that he can 135 so he can go in there and win the championship. Now, we gonna see Teofimo Lopez? Hmm? Is Lopez gonna step up and fight? Oh, Tank don't want that fight. Okay, well, Gary Russell Jr. He's there. He signed with Al Heyman, right? Why you won't make that fight? Gary Russell Jr. versus Tank Davis. Make it happen. Make it happen. If not, don't waste the public time. People's like, man, you talking about PBC? That's Floyd, man. You can't go up against Floyd and them in the company and all that. I'm speaking for boxing. I'm telling you what the boxing fans want. Now, a lot of people say, man, put him in there with Devin Haney. Devin Haney and Tank Davis fight don't even make sense. That don't even make sense right now. It don't even make sense for him to fight Ryan Garcia right now. Let them, there's plenty of fights they can fight along the way. Devin Haney haven't fought anybody that's worth any mention right now. He's got skills, but damn, they developing. They young. You know, he fought Duno, which was a tough fight. He just knocked out another guy. You know, let Ryan Garcia grow. Let that fight mean something. So, yeah, it's cool. Let them build it up the way they going. They fine. Tank Davis been here for years, winning world titles and everything. Look, it's time. When you're a world champion, the training wheels is off. It's time to let it go. And y'all out here making excuses. I mean, when did we become people that ride with excuses? He co-signed with the excuses because it fits his narrative. As big and as strong as he is, he's mentally weak. He lost all my respect. All of it's gone. Because the only way to get respect is to get in that ring and earn it back. Win, lose, or draw. Fighters lose all the time, B. Unless you Floyd. But you can lose all the time, B. It's how you respond. But if you sitting here thinking that I'm gonna blame Bob Arum for PBC not wanting to make these fights, PBC has been fighting PBC fighters forever. They have been the ones avoiding the fights, doing cross promotion. The only person that they would work with was Eddie Hearn. They wasn't working with Golden Boy fighters, and they wasn't working with top ranked fighters. Because every time they do, a top ranked fighter will come in and expose them for being frauds. You got a lot of fraud champions in there. Before last night, Leo Santa Cruz only had one big fight in his whole life. That was Abner Mares. Abner Mares, and then fought him twice. Fought Frampton twice. And I like Leo Santa Cruz. He's at least a fighter. He's going to give you something. But they've been promoting fighters that are not good or basic for years. Errol Spence, another fighter who's been put on the training wheels. Errol Spence had one real fight in his whole life. One real fight, and that was Kell Brook when he won his world title. That was his first real fight, and he won the world title from a guy who was weight drained. And then, check it out, because it don't stop there. Oh no, can we forget Errol Spence, Mikey Garcia? Another mid-size matchup, just like they did with Tank Davis and Leo Santa Cruz, right? Except for Errol Spence didn't do what he was supposed to do to Mikey Garcia. See, PBC don't care about the Latino fighters. They just want their audience. What PBC wants to do is build up a Latino artist and feed them to an artist that they really want to develop, a black guy, an African American fighter who got some appeal. Put him in the ring with a guy he's undermatched, undersized to. Let him get knocked out in great fashion. It's like, oh man, now we got their audience. You see? They did it with Mikey Garcia, and he left PBC immediately. He saw what they were doing to him, so he left. He said, nah, I'm going to go over here to the zone, and I'm going to fight over here. So I was very proud. I was very proud that he woke up and realized the BS that was going on. You know, I'm all for the sport of boxing. Boxing. I don't have an allegiance to a company. I have an allegiance to people wanting to right the wrongs. Now, PBC claimed that they were going to right the wrongs. They were going to have the best fighters fighting the best fighters. That's how it was advertised. And we thought we were going to get that. They put Keith Thurman in the ring with Sean Porter, even though Sean Porter isn't remotely the best. Uh, he's got a name. You know, he's got some wins. So it made sense to put those two in the ring against each other. So naturally, the fight and the bout makes sense to the people in the public's mind. But Danny Garcia is not a 147-pound fighter. He's a 140-pound fighter. Now he's got to fight at 147. He's only going to beat small 140 fighters. It's hard for him to beat a real welterweight, somebody of stature and size. It's too big. They're too big. It's like Keith Thurman, he's too big for Danny. You know, Danny can't deal with that. You know, he got boxing ability, but he's too flat-footed. And to put him in the ring with Errol Spence, this is tea time for Errol. But Danny has a better amateur background, I thought, on his resume, because he faced better competition than Errol did at 147 when Errol was fighting at the welterweight division. And Danny Garcia was nothing impressive in the amateurs. He just fought well enough to win on the card. Danny didn't become this one-punch knockout guy until he started knocking out like Eric Morales and all these other fighters. Then that's when they started paying attention to Danny. Then he had the crazy father, Angel Garcia. So it gave him notoriety. And it gave him a personality. So people started to like, hey, let's check on Danny Garcia, you know. Danny's a good fighter, believe me. I love Danny Garcia. I remember him from the amateurs, so I definitely remember him fighting Terrence Crawford. I remember these fights. Mikey Garcia, Danny Garcia, Terrence Crawford, all three. I remember from the amateurs, nationals, everything. like these guys were in the mix, so we were aware of them coming up in the amateurs. Now, Mikey never had the will, and he didn't really want it like the rest of them, like his brothers and everybody before. Mikey didn't really have that. So for Mikey, it was really a business more than it was, I want to be world champion, I want to do this and that. He was thinking, I win the title, then I get some money, I could make some investments here. You know, Mikey Garcia was thinking like that. So I'm telling you, I mean, a lot of y'all want to see Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence. I want to see it more than y'all. Believe me, the person that want to see it is standing right here in front of you, talking through a microphone, saying, I want to see that fight to prove myself right all the way around the board. Errol Spence don't have a chance against Terrence Crawford. Errol fights one way. He's adaptable. He adapts to your style and able to adjust and use his size. Errol's very good at using his range from a southpaw position, plus he switches from side to side, and he's very athletic. He sparred really good with Floyd, but would he beat Floyd Mayweather in a boxing match? And when it's all on the line, hell no. He wouldn't. Errol's a 154 pound fighter, fighting at 147. And he's been fighting against smaller guys because he fought someone his size when he was an amateur. Got his bell rung. Well, he wasn't an amateur. He was just an up and coming pro. He got his bell rung. He was like Mortal Kombat. Finish him. It was the Weeble Wop. So listen, they've been putting him in there with soft punches ever since then. Like somebody told me, who was that? Quinn Lee. He told me in the chat, Errol Spence on his resume, Chris Algieri's on there. I'm like, are we really gonna have that conversation? Are you really gonna sit here and seriously tell me Chris Algieri? And I interviewed him after that. He was at the Chicago Fit Expo. You know, to go to the fitness expo. So while we're at the fitness expo, this is what he's running by everyone. He's running all of this news past everybody, telling people, anybody who's willing to listen. So yeah, it was a different time. Very different time. But we were all grateful for the experience. But he told us about he was injured going into that fight. He took it for the bag. You know, he needed the money. It was big money for him to just take the fight. They just wanted the name on the resume. So boom, he just like, all right, well, get it. Let's go get it. You know, he was only world champion because they gave him the title. He didn't beat Provodnikov. Provodnikov won the fight. He had a good fight against Provodnikov. But Provodnikov won the fight. And they were not going to put Manny Pacquiao in the ring with Provodnikov. That was just not going to happen. There's too much danger and risk in that fight. So they took the title from Provodnikov, gave it to Chris Algieri, and threw Chris Algieri in the ring against Manny Pacquiao. So, which was an execution. But it made money. Now, hopefully, we can move past this Deontay Wilder situation and we can get this fight going with Tyson Fury. I know you're upset Tyson Fury won. Tyson Fury is the better fighter. Period. He was the better fighter when he woke up and took the first fight. He was the better fighter all the way around the board. Deontay Wilder is exciting because he knocks people out. But if you watch his fights, I've told people this in every comment section there's ever been. Shouts out to Blood Boxing too. Shouts out to my boy 78, Joe Beeb, Chris Carlson, G Style Boxing, and anybody else I may have missed. Oh yeah, Sean Craddock too, BoxingSocialist.com. That's us. This video will be on boxingsocials.com. Definitely check it out. And before we get there, I want to get to the facts of the situation. Deontay Wilder has lost more rounds than he has won. Let that sink in. He has lost more rounds than he's actually won. When he knocks somebody's out in a fight, he's basically has lost so many rounds before that has even taken place. Because he's not even punching. He's not even throwing a punch. He's not even landing. He's looking to land one shot to get out of the round. He doesn't box. He doesn't set anything up. He's only setting up one shot. And yeah, it was very good. And that's why people was intrigued, because he was just knocking people out with devastating knocking. And that was turning heads. But it does not mean you're good. It's just saying, okay, when your level increases, when you got to fight a heavyweight fighter that can really box and avoid that power, you're going to be in trouble. So you need to start really saying, okay, look, I got to work on having some combination punches. I got to work on using a jab. I got to get a left hook. I got to do something, because I can't just come in here and use a right hand. And you can tell when a fighter's been working on something and when he's been BSing. And he's been BSing you. So if somebody going to BS you, that's what you want? Then if that's what you think is impressive, then by all means. But stop letting people use I'm the brother, man. We gotta unite, man. Black people come together, man. We got stop falling for the banana in the tailpipe. If you gonna keep falling for the banana in the tailpipe, all of a sudden they want to pull the black card and use the black card as their motivational thing on all the spirit of all the fallen warriors. And I mean, come on, dog. It's boxing. All your politics and BS that you trying to pull don't matter. Because I was in a room with 90% black people. And you know what they saw? You get your ass whipped. So the kings and the gods of the fallen soldiers, they didn't help you that night, did they? Oh, it was my suit. My suit took my legs away. Oh, now it was my water. My water was tasting a little funny. Oh, they had a plan against me. Oh, my opponent, he had on egg weights. Was it over easy or was it scrambled? No, your brains were scrambled. them, them the only eggs that was going around. Your egg was getting scrambled in your head. And he was popping you upside the head. You got beat because they had a strategy and a game plan. What Sugar Hill did was take Tyson Fury and say, stop all that moving around and bouncing, getting yourself tired for no reason. Step to him. Hard jabs. Step to him with a hard jab, right hand. Let him know you here. Like you here to fight. Put your weight on him. He can't fight off his back foot. All he's trying to do is time the right hand. When he do that, get out of there. Turn, let him hit that shoulder with the right hand. Slip it. Don't stand there. We already know. He already felt the power, so he knows what Wilder's got power there. He can drop it if you pop him with it. So he already knows that. So he needs to just stay away. Avoid. Use his jab. Use his boxing ability. Change the angles. Make Wilder have to think and make him panic. And when he panics, he's just wide open to get dropped some more. It's funny how people, after the second fight over, people going back to the first fight. Look at the footage from the first fight. He's like, dude, there was a second fight. The one that just happened. Why you ain't showing us the gloves on that one? Oh, because the gloves wasn't sagging there. There were no gloves sagging in the second fight. So now we got to use something called egg weights. Oh gosh, you gotta wake up, people, man, for real. I'm gonna put 4 other videos in here. You can see the video too, actually, that started all this email attack I'm getting. So thank you though for caring. But hopefully this clears up a lot of things with the No Needle Dunier friend Fernando Montel fight. But then someone else will make another observation to that. So, all right. Yep. Subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Hit the like button. My cash app is Karceno, Karceno, and we out the door. Oh no, we don't stop.